Dun-dun. Hi, I'm Emilyn. I'm studying BCI majoring in Interactive and Visual Design, and the issue I'm going to present is about problems faced in interface design. I used to work in content design for websites, mobile apps, and VR games, all which required doing UI design. The biggest problem in design would be communication and consistency, not just among designers, but with the development team, project managers, and the clients. Designs will have to undergo many changes, and each change will have varying impact on the design as a whole and could cause problems for other members of the team. Traditionally, all members of the design and development team will have a meeting at the beginning of a project to discuss the client brief and quickly brainstorm and establish a common direction. The work will be divided among the teams, and they will leave the meeting and return to their own workstation to complete the work before the next meeting, where they will present their ideas again. All members of the team will do their share of the work at their own workstation, upload their product into a common folder on a shared network, and communicate via email or project management platform. When working in a big team on a scaled project, the problem would be trying to communicate changes in design as quickly as they happen. A single change in any part of the project could have a cascading effect on the rest of the designs and the team. The bigger the project team, the more crucial it is to have an effective communication system among all members involved. That brings us to our problem statement. Communication is the biggest challenge for design and development teams. Basically, design and development teams need reliable and efficient tools for communication to improve workflow and keep up with the pace of rapidly changing projects. So how might we establish a reliable communication system that can streamline the work we do? The wide scope of user interface systems engineers means that there must be successful communication between members of the design team, between the developers and the users, and between the activities at various stages of the project. The methodology which is adopted must be able to communicate these differing communication needs. Enter Figma, where teams design together. Right here on their website is a clear answer to our problem. Design, prototype, and collaborate all in the browser with Figma. Their product offers us the ability to collaborate with everyone at every phase. Each contributor owns their part of the creative process and stays in sync along the way across any platform. They each take part of the design and development process and combine it together within Figma. Let's take a closer look at the platform itself. Firstly, Figma is platform agnostic. Being browser-based, it works on the Mac, PC, Linux, even works on a Chromebook. This means you can collaborate with anyone on any platform. Figma is not meant for just designers. Its clean and simple interface is non-intimidating for the uninitiated and has the tools you need and are familiar with. You can open various projects in tabs, have different pages to work on, and a clear layer system that allows you to arrange assets in frames and groups. Figma is an amazing tool for designers to create wireframes and detailed designs, and includes features that can communicate those designs to developers. Creating designs in Figma itself is simple. You can perform tasks using the intuitive tools as you would in any other software like Illustrator, without compromising on quality. You do not need to do your designs in a separate software and import them in for prototyping, though you could if you wanted, as they support SVG file formats. One of my favorite features is the ability to import images directly into Figma, even with simple copy-paste from a clipboard. No upload window, and the images imported are also pixel accurate, which you can then scale losslessly. This is exceptionally helpful when creating mood boards or adding any image into your design. All designs are pixel perfect. 60 frames per second interactive editing brings you ultra crisp, pixel perfect previews and exports. You can communicate designs precisely to the development and engineering teams. They can check the specific figures that you have set on the assets themselves, inspect the CSS code generated automatically, and when ready, export the components needed directly in multiple formats. Figma also allows prototyping directly in the design, not just with frames or buttons, but with any asset like text or image or groups. It also allows setting of triggers and states, and shows links in a simple visual and interactive manner. Once the connections are set, you can present your design using Figma within the browser or send to your mobile. If needed, you can pop back to your workspace and make a change in any part of the design or connection, and have the change reflected in your mockup. Because the work is updated live every time a contributor makes a change, all components will be changed live simultaneously. The developer will have access to the edited asset at its latest version anytime. Last but not least, Figma has the ability to add comments to the design in the workspace and allows for replies within it. Comments are displayed conveniently at the side and are numbered, dated, and do not take up layers in the stack. This allows contributors to provide feedback on the design as they see it and log changes in a clear and organized manner. Of course, the key highlight feature is their multiplayer editing ability. All contributors can edit the same file simultaneously and see exactly what others are doing inside the file. With everyone working on the same file at the same time, this eliminates the confusion that arises from having multiple versions from multiple contributors. Designers don't need to worry about lagging versions. Developers can check if the design they are building is the latest and check for any questions in the platform. Project managers do not need to download a chunky folder of designs and prototypes each time they present to the client and send out lengthy emails with change requests. In fact, you can just click on the user's cursor and follow their view. With Figma, you are able to design, prototype, and collaborate all on one platform seamlessly. It streamlines the work you do and allows you to communicate in a simple and intuitive manner. Figma under the 4 Ps of innovation: paradigm, process, product, and position. Firstly, paradigm, the way a company thinks about what they do and who they do it for. Figma offers multiplayer editing versus the traditional siloed work style. This is a new and unique exclusive feature. Using Figma changes the way designers work, replacing the need for multiple apps and softwares. There's a significant paradigm shift in the design process and work environment when using Figma and its multiplayer editing style. Secondly, process, the way a company delivers that product and service. Figma offers a cross-platform solution for the design and editing tool and prototype testing in the platform or on its mobile mirror. Product, what a company is offering the world in terms of product or service. Figma is an interface design tool that takes over the entire design and prototyping process. It offers a one-stop shop experience for design and development teams. Who a company offers the product to and the stories they tell about it. The focus of the platform was not to lone designers and developers. Their key promotion point was not just the software tools itself, but the connectivity that it will provide teams and enterprises. As such, the professional organization categories have different price points that offer more features such as team libraries, organization-wide design systems, plugin management, centralized teams, link access controls, and activity logs to name a few. Figma's main target audience are organizations with large product teams. As such, it places priority on the issues that a project will face at scale. Figma noticed teams at large organizations creating ever more complex design documents in the platform. Users will push their tools to its limits, nesting components many layers deep to give them flexibility and power in their design systems. In response to their client Microsoft Fluent Design's team's issues in stress testing, they develop optimizations and a collection of other changes to help reduce load time for a large realistic document from 29 seconds down to under 8 seconds. They also improved the fluidity of the 2 most common operations where Figma users need: speed in, zooming in and out, and dragging layers. They also worked with their client network to discuss performance and enabled a new renderer which saw an instantaneous uptick in the speed of component publishing and file loading. Figma's impact on the design industry is visible not only from the raving reviews it has received online, but the fact that multiple transnational companies are its clients. For a company to accept and adopt a new software working style, it shows great confidence in the platform and its reliability. To further highlight this, Figma even has a playlist on their YouTube platform that has multiple customer testimonials featuring customers Microsoft, Deliveroo, Coinbase, Square, Uber, and Bulk. The full videos are available on their YouTube channel. Here are 2 clips that show how Figma has changed the way their business conducts their design process.
At a company at our size with 300 designers, nobody knows where anything is. Figma makes it so much easier just to get about our organizational problems.
Before, everything used to be pretty much decentralized, and collaboration suffered from that decentralization. Figma as a tool really helps the Uber design team and culture simply by virtue of its features and functionality. We have a design system which we call Base UI. Base UI came to be simply because we had so many disparate products that were working in sort of bespoke ways that really needed to be more centralized. Figma was a natural for sorting out how best to deal with this, simply because the team library helps us figure out how to best componentize and centralize all these things.
The cool thing is when you get to a company of our size and scale, we can deploy a new build of Base UI to every designer at the company with like 2 clicks of a button. The number of messages that I've seen, where's everything, pre-Figma, post-Figma, has gone down significantly.
I don't think we could have been as successful as we are with our design systems and move as quickly as we have without Figma.
I remember coming across Figma. I was like, what is this thing? And it seemed like it was a designer's dream. You have multiple designers that can work on it at once. And because it's online, then it's like, well, can we replace all these other things we're using?
We'd have one tool for designing, we'd have one tool for prototyping, we'd have one tool for handing off to engineers. So it was kind of crazy, and now we basically just use Figma. It just became this collaborative software that we all use, and now our work became much faster.
Using Figma makes getting feedback a lot easier. I can share a link with people in the team and have them make comments so that we can continue to move effectively throughout the process.
The team has confidence that when we ship a design, we show them it in Figma, they know that that's the final design. There's no wondering, hey, is this the final, or is this the final, or is this the final? It's the final.
Coming up with a design system for our product is an incredibly big challenge.
It became clear that we needed an explicit way to define what our standards were as a design team and then communicate that to the engineering team.
And having something like Figma enables everybody to be using from the same components as like a source of truth. And we weren't just designing things behind a black box.
It's been really helpful for the engineers to be able to see live the component that we are working with.
I use it every day. It's a necessity. Like, without Figma, I don't know how I would get my work done in a fast-paced environment like Coinbase.
This creates basically a new level of collaboration that hasn't really existed before in design. For the first time, designers, PMs, engineers can all speak in the same language, in the same location, in Figma.
Figma is still actively growing and adding new features to the platform. One such addition early on is the ability to import sketch files, their closest competitor, into Figma without loss. This draws a direct first-hand comparison for users between the two software, especially when it comes to their cross-platform compatibility. Figma accepted sketch files was a one-way street, which meant that Sketch users could convert to Figma, but Figma files would not be able to be imported and continue in Sketch. The Sketch import is essential to Figma users as it helped those designers in the initial stage of switching without the need to recreate all of their previous work and have teams stay synced on design. This Sketch import compatibility also resolved another complaint users have about the new platform: the lack of resources and small community. But the import ability allowed Figma users access to a wealth of resources already contributed by the existing Sketch community, while Figma grew its own in the meantime. Figma's co-founder and CEO Dylan Field says that the plugins have been the most requested feature from users since the company's launch. So for the last year, the team has been working to build plugin functionality on the back of Figma's API with three main priorities: stability, speed, and security. Plugins are now available on the platform as of 1st August 2019. One popular request would be the ability to populate your design prototype with real data, such as images within the platform itself. Unsplash, a customer of Figma themselves, had a fan in the community reach out to them with his version of a mockup of their potential plugin. They liked the fan creation so much, they reached out to partner with the developer and recently launched the Unsplash plugin for Figma. This is one example, a designer-developer being inspired by the platform and its potential. The community voices a need. Different users reach out and collaborate to fill that need, all within Figma's collaborative environment. Though Figma is still relatively young as compared to its competitors in the field, its innovation in offering a truly collaborative workspace for all aspects of the design and development process has truly revolutionized the way project teams work, in the way they communicate and their individual processes. What started from the simple idea of working collaboratively is truly a game changer. Perhaps this innovation that has benefits across technology, business, and social spheres will continue to inspire other forms of collaborative working and systems. One thing for sure, Figma is certainly an experience to behold.